everybody, welcome back to the Mount Tammany Ridge channel. I want to start off here with apologizing for the awful camera angle. I ran over my tripod the other day unknowingly and trampled it back and forth on it probably 10 times. Thankfully, I didn't have my phone or the GoPro on it at the time. But you guys are just gonna have to be patient with me here. I don't really have a lot of opportunities out here in the back 40 at my friend's farm to set up a camera without a tripod anywhere. So at least close enough to where I'm doing anything where you guys are going to be able to enjoy the footage anyway. So so I'm going to be tracking back and forth here. This is a trail that goes up to a ravine where any of the blow down trees and shrubs and brush and things like that's where they dump it down into this ravine, and it composts over time and always has room. So it's really convenient that they have this, because there's really not a lot of people who have rural properties that have something like this to rely on to dispose of fallen down trees and bushes and shrubs and stuff like that. So this turned out to be a pretty long day. I actually this one big tree, I kind of lucked out actually. They have a person, another person that shows up, I guess once or twice a week to do yard cleanup, and they were going to have this gentleman take care of all the small stuff, but they needed me in there with my machine to get this all the big stuff out of there. That way the other guy can take care of all the smalls. But the other tree that I would tend with was down by, there's a river that goes through here. They own, I believe, property on both sides of the river. I could be wrong, but a large part of their property does actually go along the river, which is really cool. And later in the video, I'll bring you guys with me as well for that. And there was one tree that was down. Looked like it had some old coax cable from like a phone line or something from way back. And just kind of shoved that off to the side. And further down on the other end of the field, it's a very marshy field that this other tree was down, kind of like there's an eddy, I guess you could call it, that only gets water really when after a rain, when you got a high water. And so there's a drainage eddy or side how can I say, like a swale or something, where water passes through. But anywho, off on a tangent there. So there's a tree that's hanging out over that, and which really wasn't as big an issue for any other reason than it was sticking out into the field, and it was making it very hard for them to fully be able to take care of the field with the brush hog and keep everything cut back. It was just a massive chunk of the field where they had to go around the top of this tree. Now, the tree never really fully fell down. It just, I don't know if it blew down into the position it's in and then just kept growing that way, or if it just grew that way from day one. I don't know. But you'll see it. It's an aggressive leaning tree across what appears to be a creek. So that'll probably get a little bit interesting, the way I have to how can I say, I'll leave it alone for now. I'll let you guys see that when the time comes. But I'm gonna shut up for now and let you guys watch me tinker around with these limbs and branches. I'll probably speed it up a little bit, put a little tunes in the background. That way you're not just listening to hydraulics, you know, squealing and clunking around. morning, everybody. I've been hard at work this morning, shuttling cut up wood back and forth to locations on the property where they want us to dispose of it. And so this is one of the several projects that we've been working on. Now, I am not going to be cutting that down, at least not today anyway. The main objective here today is to get these limbs. These limbs were all, you can see I already started cutting them, but they came all the way down here into the I guess field, you could call it. It's a little bit marshy over here, but they like to maintain their property and they do a darn good job of it. So the next thing is going to be this branch here. I have to take that tree size branch that goes up that way, and I got to do a little face cut there and drop that down, and then I'll cut a few pieces off of that to give them clearance for their tractor. That's pretty big. I mean, that's a tree all by itself, basically, that branch. So it's gonna be fun. It's high enough up there where I'm literally gonna have to pull my skid steer alongside of it and stand on the tracks to make those cuts. Otherwise I can't get up there. So I'm gonna try to give you guys some camera angles of me doing that. The GoPro battery is just about completely dead, and my truck is about 3/4 of a mile away with the other batteries. Hindsight's 2020. So as I'm cutting at the bottom of this limb here, I'm watching the tree, and in the event that, you know, this thing starts to settle or maybe even fall all the way to the ground, rest it away or something, you know, I kind of had a little bit of a heads up to run. But as I cut further into this, you know, I relieve all the pressure from that branch. And at that point, it was pretty clear to me that if it was going to come down, it wasn't going to come down. So I'm just kind of processing what's happening here, making sure I'm not putting myself in harm's way. So get back to cutting here and let you guys enjoy the sound of that 460 Husqvarna. So, as I'm climbing up onto this skid steer, kind of trying to stage this whole thing to work out to the best, even if it goes toward the worst, I guess you could say. So, originally I was going to cut this in like two pieces, two smaller pieces. But with, the options that I had where I had to stand, things like that, it was going to be a problem if I tried to cut it in two pieces, because it was guaranteed that the first piece was definitely going to fall on me. So I made sure that I parked the skid steer the way I did it. You'll see here it's about to drop, and it comes back toward the machine, and it landed mostly on the tracks, but it did make a little bit of contact with the loader boom. I chose this side of the machine to do this because there are no hydraulics exposed that could have been compromised. There was maybe one for the ram that could have been broken, but I was lucky this time. All right, so it's about 2 weeks later now since I did that tree job, and I just wanted to swing in here real quick, end the video with you guys without it just dropping off there. I know sometimes I have to do that, but anywho, so you can see here I've now gone to and come back from the Essex Junction, Vermont Expo. So got my chain sharpener here that I picked up while I was there, and so far I really like it. There will be some videos coming up not too long from now after I get a little bit more familiar with this thing, but so far I'm liking the results. We'll have to see once I actually start sinking some of these chains into some log rounds. But enough about this. Yeah, so the project, removing and discarding of a bunch of those junk trees, most of which were rotten. The only one that didn't actually have a rotting issue was the one at the end of the video that was kind of leaning out over that creek. And yeah, that one was still in great shape, other than the fact that it was, basically some of those branches on the canopy there were stabbed into the ground. So it did appear to be that maybe that tree did partially fall during a storm, but it just seemed to just want to keep growing. So they needed it, partially removed out of the way anyway, so that field could be properly maintained with the brush hog. So the next long form video that I'm going to be posting is going to be on the stump removal of that Berserk Birch video that I posted. So I'm gonna try to, how can I say, edit very little. And what I mean by that is, for those of you who are excavator enthusiasts, you know, and like digging and tree removal and stump removal, things like that, I'm going to kind of gear this video more toward you folks that enjoy that kind of stuff. So basically, I'm going to try to use no edited sections where there's music and, you know, time lapse and things like that. I'm going to have to see how the footage works out as far as, you know, the timelines that I have to work with, and what I can get out of them without compressing and dubbing and doing things like that. So if you guys like to see more of that content here on the channel, just comment down below, leave me, you know, if you want, you can even send me emails. My email is in the description. You guys can shoot me some emails. I will try my hardest to get back to everybody through the comment section and the emails as well, you know, on those topics and subjects. If you guys like the content you see here on the Mount Tammany Ridge channel, hit that like button, subscribe, share with some of your friends that might be interested in this content, and I will see you guys on the next video. You guys have yourselves a good evening.